Welcome back. This is Sport Zone, live on Joy Prime. My name is Fento Tahir Fento. Thanks so much that you could join us here. We appreciate your time. Welcome to the show. Joining me tonight on the show are my two absolute favorites, Daniel Cranting and Sichofe Philip Atrim are here. Guys, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much.
How you doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you seem very happy. There was no smile on your face a couple of minutes ago. You look very stressed. I should have videoed you over there on that desk.
Italia. Forza Italia.
Because our boys wanted to disgrace you.
I mean, I didn't think Croatia deserved to be anywhere near the knockout stage. I'm happy.
Yeah.
The proper football goes through tonight, at least tonight, yeah. So, yeah.
But Italy are lucky.
They are lucky.
That disgraceful football you went to play against Spain.
Yeah, that was terrible. That was terrible.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that very shortly. But today is Lionel Messi's birthday.
Hey.
Right?
Yes.
The 24th of June, 1987. A very, very special human being was born. I don't think on that very lovely Wednesday afternoon, the whole world knew what gift God was giving all of us. And we are now proud to say that we will forever be grateful to the Almighty Allah for giving us Lionel Messi, because he's giving every single human being on this earth who loves sport incredible moments of joy. Unquestionable, his greatness. He is an absolute monster. What do I have on the screen? Sicho, what is this?
Oh, no, so
you went on Twitter to wish Messi a happy birthday.
Yeah,
read what you wrote.
So I was like, happy birthday, Lionel Messi. Happy birthday, Messi. Brilliant in every sense of the word. I still can't believe there will come a time we wouldn't see you in the sports, and it wouldn't be the same. Enjoying you while you still play.
But you're about to write you.
I mean, you can guess, but just... No, I wanted to write, I just wanted to know that there's still plenty to write about Messi.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Listen, this is not a... I mean, this is... This is not... This is...
Oh, Messi.
You couldn't just wish Messi a happy birthday and let it go?
What's all about Messi?
All right, cool.
My friend, on the 5th of February, you didn't do this.
On the 5th of February, we didn't have a show.
No, it's not about...
It's about the show. It's about platforms.
It's about...
I need a platform to say what I say. I need a platform to say what I said. Without the platform, well, I should go and scream to the walls.
You're telling me that week there was no show?
That week there was no show. It's on the 5th of February. It wasn't a Monday.
Let me check.
Check your calendar.
Quick.
The 5th of February it wasn't a Monday.
Check quick. Whatever happened on the 5th of February, you were on a show.
I was not on a show.
You were on a show.
February 5.
Was a
good Monday.
It was a good Monday. Was it? Sicho, your calendar is wrong.
It's clear.
Monday.
There was a good Monday. In fact, there was a match on that. It was a Brentford and Man City. Monday.
Yeah. Were you not here?
Boga, I was not here.
Me too. Then I wasn't here. Then Muftar hosted the show.
No, you were here.
Then Muftar hosted the show.
February 5 was a Monday.
Me too, I was not here. Me too, I was not here.
You see?
You were not here. Me too, I was not here.
No, I was not here. There's evidence to show that I was not here.
Me too, I was not here.
I was in Cote d'Ivoire. I was not here. You were here. You did a show live because I watched it with my 2 eyes from Cote d'Ivoire.
And I didn't do what exactly?
I didn't wish Ronaldo a happy 39th birthday. So we all know where
Cristiano Ronaldo, a belated happy birthday. A belated...
We don't want. It's okay.
All right. Guys, let's go to the University of Ghana Stadium. That was where the MTN FA Cup final took place between Nsoatreman and Tano Bofakwa. It ended 1-0 after full time. Then Nsoatreman won 5-4 on penalties. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Confidence. He's got Saka on his left. He sends one. Ali Al-Hassan with a shot ball in. Distribute the first goal. And Richard Jiko has put Bofakwa ahead. the relegated Premier League side, are 1-0 up against Nsoatreman here.
All this while, but the very first time they break free in about 5 minutes, and that results in a goal. You could count the number of players over there, the attackers they sent into that ball, and no one applying pressure. It was Morrison who was trying to close him down, but Chico found himself in acres of space, and he just had to tap down.
Here comes DU. Good control from DU. He wants to send the ball wide, and he gets to Walid Husseini. Osei wants to make the run. A chance for Nsoatreman. Good save from Imano Kobi. Osei
From Walid Neymar with the outside of his foot, setting up Bones when he was just trying to square that into the 16-yard ahead and clinch this title.
Zakado with a volley. On
Contact with the ball.
Sadat with a drive, and he's equalized. What a howler from Imano Kobi. Terrible mistake, and Nsoatreman are back in business. 12 minutes to go, and they can win this. It's 1-1.
Game on, game on. But what a howler. He's put up a man of the match performance all evening. And how do you get beaten by that? Take nothing away from the players.
Unfortunately, the goal scorer from open play missed his kick. He got it wrong, but you have to credit Afaju for his timeliness and his sense of awareness to go the direction where the ball went.
Exactly. A couple of times he had the direction right, but he just couldn't have his hands on those balls. But this time round, he wasn't going to let that go past him. And that was Eric Osei-Bones with the left back, who expectedly also took his.
Osei-Bones is a set-piece specialist. You might get the direction, but you're unable to stop it. Blessing Dana scored, but
it was
too late.
Lifeline for Tano Bafama, hoping that the fit taker for Nsoatreman would miss. And that was also a good penalty from Dana.
And the people and students of Kumasi Senior High School will be very excited for this young chap.
Says he doesn't deserve the credit. He's not taking the credit for that.
Foster Apetogbo, he's a member of the under-20 team. Coach Desmond Ofer will be proud of him. He wasn't part of the team. Nsoatreman are champions of the MTN FA Cup for the 2023-2024 season. Champions of the FA Cup, 2024 champions. Nsoatreman.
Foster Apetogbo, 16 years of age, kept his nerve, converted the winning sport kick. And with that, Nsoatreman are off to Africa to compete in the CAF Confederation Cup. First things first, I was particularly, surprisingly, very impressed with the attendance, because with the foregoing circumstances that we analyzed here, by the fact that they were taking the game away from BA, both teams didn't have their fans here, I was genuinely afraid that we could have a very low turnout. But in the end, I mean, I was quite impressed, and the game itself was very competitive indeed.
Yeah, the turnout was good. And I've always said that in a country like Ghana, where even though we love football, our fan culture and going to games to watch football is not great. We don't need too many 40-seater stadium or 30 or 60. If you get one,
yes,
and it's a special one, perfect. But across the country, you know, some 10,000, some 9, some 12. It's easier to, yes, it's easier to mobilize people to attend. And the optics of it makes it interesting to watch, really. And I think that credit has to go to the organizers of the FA Cup. You know, the year in, year out, it's almost as if two different countries, year in, year, because when you watch the league and you watch the FA Cup, even though they're the same teams, same, if you like, handlers of the teams, it's almost as if these are two separate competitions.
Same organizers of the competition.
Same organizers, but really it's almost as if it's from a different place altogether, the cup. And so credit to them for the effort they put in, the way they organize it. And as you said, the game in itself gave us a very good treat. I predicted Bofaka were going to win, because I had seen them play in the cup this season. I thought they were very difficult to crack down, very difficult to beat. Listen, in football, mistakes do happen, and sometimes when mistakes happen, you capitalize on them. It was Bofaka who were their own undoing in the game, really. I thought once they got the goal, they started for the Nsoatreman. Even though Nsoatreman were the better team, they were actually defending well, frustrating them. But in the end, once the howler happened from the goalkeeper,
poor goal to concede.
Poor one to concede. It took the game to spot kicks, and yeah, they didn't win the lottery there. But credit to Maxwell Kunedu, credit to Eric Alajidede.
Yeah.
I'm happy that young ones have been given the opportunity. When they've been given these opportunities, they've made it count. We've seen Amini Shadow with Dreams FC. You know, we've seen Eric now.
Yes.
So now the whole narrative about Obada Beng doesn't make sense now because it's about your ability, your commitment, and what you've got in you. Once you're given the free hand and the free way and the support to operate, you've seen that the young ones can do great.
Yeah. What's the saying? If you're good enough, you're old enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly want to see that Bofakwa go again. That was so brilliantly worked.
Yeah.
Like, it was...
From start to finish.
It was fantastic to see, like, all angles. And we rarely see this. Ball work from middle, out left, back into the center.
Simple tapping.
Planted into
the defending was poor, but the movement was great as well. So it's two of those things, but yeah.
You have expected...
And then they pulled out a kudus, huh?
They're lucky the ball didn't break.
Honestly, I was actually looking at
I'm afraid that the ball will fall. But Daniel, let's pick up from a point Sicho landed in about, Maxwell Kunedu. Going to this, it was a big risk because, I mean, it was a Nsoatreman. It's not really... They don't have a lot of pedigree. This is only their second season in the Ghana Premier League. And he said it himself. He said, he looked at it, it was a big... And this is a man that had coached at the national team level, Black Stars, Asante Kotoko, to go to BA and take up that job and to have been competitive in the league for as long as he was, and to finish with this. I mean, you have to give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, you have to give him a lot of credit, but you also need to give those clubs a lot of credit. Why? Because they are running the football properly. They are creating the environment for top managers to walk in and feel like the structure is right and ripe for them to work. It's not just about the name again. It's about how you properly run the football club. And there's a reason why some of these top coaches are not going for some of these top jobs. Because now they know the situation that is happening at some of these big teams. And nobody wants to work in an environment like that. So when you build an establishment and you put proper structures in place, make sure that the coach has his free hand. His job is to do the coaching, and the rest of the other things are well taken care of. Once he has that pedigree, once he has the know-how, this is what you get. A running for the league title and then an FA Cup trophy. Look at Samatex, similar situation that they find themselves in, properly worked themselves, built a very proper working structure at the club, leave it to the head coach, Nuruddin, who's done well and won the league. So for me, this is a lesson to some of the big clubs up there. It's really not about the name anymore. And especially when it comes to cup competition, it is literally one game at a time. And if you have a tactician like Maxwell Kunedu, who is managing any club, it doesn't necessarily matter the group of players he has. Once those players are of a certain standard, he can work the magic. And Sicho has mentioned it, although Bofakwa did really well, especially in their defending in that second half. That's why I love cup competitions. It's about moments. And one moment can change everything. And once Nsoatreman got that goal from extra time, you could just tell, even heading to the penalties, you could just tell the body
hit the woodwork.
Yeah, they just felt like that team that they knew they were going to win once they got that equalizer. And unfortunately for Bofakwa, although I'm a bit happy for the grand scale of things, because we saw what Dreams FC did last season, and I want a much more competent, no disrespect to Bofakwa, but I don't want to
I think maybe competent, maybe a better place would be a much more prepared team.
Yeah, you can't be playing Division 1 and going to represent that. We don't know the states that you'll be in. So for Nsoatreman,
also even financial muscle.
Exactly. For Nsoatreman, doing really well in the league this season, going to the Africa next season, I now have a bit of hope.
But for Maxwell Kunedu defense, just a little, for Maxwell Kunedu, when he was with Dreams FC, I thought, even in the cup, he was unlucky at times. He played in 2 back-to-back quarterfinals, so he always was a very good cup manager. We saw him with the Wafu team. He won the Wafu here in Cape Coast. He went to the final.
Took our Chan team to the final.
Took our Chan team to
one football, 2014.
Absolutely.
Everybody to Yaya Mohammed.
Yeah, so what Danny says is true. In cup competitions, it's a different ball game altogether. When you know how to win games plan for just that one game, kill the opponent, move to the next game, get opponents out. He has that about him. And finally, he has the FA Cup in his locker.
Nsoatreman just need to sign some strikers. Abdurrahman, 5 goals in all competitions as the club's top scorer. As the club's lead striker. It's very underwhelming. The club's top scorer this season is Manaf, who scored 7 goals from deep in midfield.
He even stopped scoring at a point.
You know,
he dried up.
Said, so that has to change. And I think that if they can fix their goal scoring, they will do very well. In the cup run, they conceded just 2 goals. Yesterday was the second goal they conceded. So Maxwell has a reputation for building teams that are very solid defensively. He's been criticized for that by some people, but you know, that kind of style of football is actually very good in cup competitions. It could take you far. So
he wins. He's a league winner, he's a cup winner.
Exactly. So all the best to, and congratulations to Nsoatreman, and well played to Tano Bafakwa. I call Bafakwa the ultimate villains. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday. He said Bafakwa played the game against Dreams FC like a World Cup. While everybody wanted Dreams to go on and maybe win and then continue their run in Africa, Bafakwa said, for their way. They went to Sogakofe and bodied them, got the win. And they almost did that yesterday again to Nsoatreman.
They're very good cup.
That's to ruin, there's no fairy tale story here. I love Bafakwa for that. You know, we might be relegated, but there is no fairy tale.
It's different.
Exactly. So well played to Bafakwa. Competitive game yesterday. Well done. I can report to you guys, though, that the same issues that have confronted our football year in, year out, and the reason some of our clubs will always fall short in Africa will continue to rear their head next season. Yesterday, I confirmed, after having a conversation with someone at Summertex, that I discovered that the deadline for the CAF licensing requirement to submit venues for Africa next season had expired. And Summertex have already submitted the venues they'll be using to play the CAF Champions League matches for next season. And you're not going to believe it, a club in Samaraboy have been forced to submit Accra and Kumasi as the only venues that they could possibly play in.
We are not serious.
No surprises, we are back here again. We spoke about it last year here.
It's unbelievable.
It's normal.
Yeah. You know, so imagine next season you're going to see Summertex playing matches in Accra or Kumasi, one of them, in Africa.
It happened to Dreams, it happened to me.
That's what I'm saying. It just happens every single time. And, you know, Nsoatreman too, same thing will happen to them. You know, that has to change. It really has to change. But guys, let's move it on and talk about, there's some people here who've sent in messages about the FA Cup. So let me just take them and then we'll move to Europe and talk about, there's a message that says, happy birthday to my GOAT. I will take that message for sure. Today, a God was born into football, I agree. May he win Ballon d'Or this year in the mighty name of Jesus, I agree, amen. That's from Atom Lee inside
Jesus Christ is
Atom
just
Lee.
and fair.
You see, I've read your message first because I agree with everything you sent in here.
Jesus Christ is just and fair.
Jesus what?
He's just and he's fair.
Yes.
Yes, he doesn't do favoritism.
Yes.
So Jesus Christ doesn't operate like Atom and you. Somebody's playing America, he won't do
In a just and fair world, Messi wins every Ballon d'Or every year. Let's move it on. Hi, I'm K. Frimpong, enjoying the show from Kofodia. I really like your program. Keep it up. But the last time your team came here, we had an interruption. I really enjoyed it, but I never saw my video. You had an interaction with my team in Kofodia, but you didn't see your video, is what you're saying. Okay. Who was it we sent to Kofodia?
It's not Achu.
Achu.
Achu was going to lose the game.
It was Chasam. It was Chasam. Chasam, you went to Kofodia, interviewed everyone and didn't play. It's true.
It's true.
The report is outstanding. Hey, Chasam.
You've forgotten.
Achu, I've forgotten. You know, what was it? I think it was the Division 1 player. Someone was bowed to there, so I was kind of confused which of them he spoke to. So, but you are right, it's Achu. Exactly. The last time, he said the last type, which was Achu Chasam. It is him. This message says, could Marco van Basten have become the best ever player in history if he had not retired at 28? Legit Counselor Inside Magazine is sending that question. And he says, Messi's birthday is proudly brought to you by Ronaldo's Sport in the round of 16. Interesting. People, oh God. This one says, hello, Minister. Wow. That's a new one. Where we used to work at City, there was somebody who was calling Daniel Kraton honorable. This is a new one. Mohammed from Tamale has called me a minister. Thank you, Mohammed. It says, I like what Italy did to Croatia today. I'm very proud of Italy. All right, Mohammed, thank you very much for your message.
Thank you very much.
Yes. This one said the Buffalo players were doing the Kudu celebration by sitting on the artboard was so funny. Or say, yeah, the Sunyani sent that message. This one says, I'm Kevin from Swedru. The way Jude Bellingham is playing in the Euros, if Messi wins the Copa America, he will surely win the 9th Ballon d'Or. So tell them that the 9th Ballon d'Or is loading. Interesting one. There's a message here that says, Danny, don't talk too much. We're going to shame them in the ongoing Euros. My network didn't permit me to join the show last Saturday via Zoom. But let me make this promise that your Zoomers will not disappoint this Saturday. That's from Temperature Inside TV, talking about Daniel's show on Saturday morning.
Zoomers.
8 a.m. I like that. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Look, if you have never watched it, on Saturday morning at 8 a.m., Daniel Achu Musba have a show called Sports Extra on this very channel, Joy Prime. It's an amazing show where they get people to join them over Zooms, talk football. It's Gen Z stuff. It's crazy. But it's fun. It's fun to watch. So you should tune in next Saturday, or this coming Saturday. Hi, Fentu. I'm sending you the message from Seshi Body. I don't see why you guys should praise Cristiano Ronaldo for that asset provided for Bruno. Something Lionel Messi does every day. You ratty Yakofo. This one says, can the GFA be dissolved so that new elections be held to elect new executives from Sana and Boku? And Sana, your reason is, I want to know why you want the GFA dissolved. This one says, good evening, Fen and his team. I'm always in love with your show. I love football and I love Euro 2024. Football sending human beings to where they never imagined. Football sent Croatia home when they thought they were in the quarterfinals. Football sent Italy to the quarterfinals for the last kick of the game when they thought they might be going home. This is real and proper football that you love to watch all day. For that Caliafiori guy, Chelsea must get him as soon as possible. Prosper Akute from Adenta. Prosper, I agree with you, 100%. This one is from Mike in Y. He says, for the singular reason that Messi entertains every other person whilst achieving even that your supposed best, who isn't qualified to be a kid when the GOAT debate is being argued about. You can only be jealous he would leave the sports having envious records your favorite can only dream of. LM10 is a blessing to the sports and others, just another competitor. Happy birthday. He said, happy birthday to the king of soccer, Mike, with his message. Okay. This one says, you can't beat Albania, but you want to sneak into the knockout stage. If you head boys will also pray you are head. Simple good evening, sir. You know what he's talking about.
Destroy business.
Charlie, Croatia small business the first day. So boys vex. Nana ya kiri. Says she. As I went so sent us that message. Interesting. Thank you for your message. All right, let's get straight to the Euros then, because there's a lot of action there to talk about. Let's talk about Italy versus Croatia. It just ended. And Italy came from, a goal down to secure a very unlikely 1-1 draw. But, Sucho, you were watching that game. Croatia deserved it?
No, they didn't.
They deserve what they got?
Yeah.
They deserve what they got?
Yeah. They've developed a habit of scraping through, by hook or crook, getting a result that takes them through. And tonight was nearly one of those nights where the Croatian team lacked the bite, they lacked the cutting edge, but in the end, they almost got through. But it also must be said that Italy really struggled because in the first 2 games, compared to what they played today, the system that they applied today was very different from, even personnel, was very different from what they had used in the first game and in the second game. So it didn't necessarily click for the Italians in this game. So the 2 teams were not really at it. But I thought the Italian side were a lot better than the Croatians. Good passes in the team. They can hold up the ball really well. They can keep possession at times. But they just lack the cutting edge when they get into the final third. They lack a bit of pace, a bit of oomph or sharpness up the pitch. And so, yeah, they got their goal. And they resulted to maybe keeping it tight. At some point, they resulted to keeping possession away from Italy. And in the final minutes of the game, when Luciano Spalletti made those changes and threw on a lot of bodies, Zaccagni got onto the pitch. Fagioli got onto the pitch. He just threw a lot at Croatia, and they couldn't find the answers. But ultimately, it was simply because they sat very deep. Calafiori picked the ball from centre half, played a quick 1-2 in the middle, drove through the heart of the team, had Zaccagni wide open, set the ball to his left, and Zaccagni did the rest to make it 1-1 and give Italy the 4 points, which is good enough to take them through to the next stage and now almost certainly send Croatia packing, because they will need England to beat Slovenia by a minimum of 4 goals, so that Slovenia could have the same number of points but a poorer goal difference to give Croatia any chance of going into the next stage. But you don't trust this English side. Yeah.
I mean, they've got just what, 2 points?
Yeah.
From
the
three matches. Yeah. And in 3rd place. And to be fair,
with a -3 goal difference.
Only 2 3rd place teams will actually not make it through to the next round.
And there could be 1.
4 of them will make it through. Only 2 wouldn't make it through. That would be very disappointing. But Daniel, I mean, Sitcho mentioned it, that Croatia had it coming, tournament after tournament. I think after the World Cup in 2018, this team has been on the decline. It doesn't seem like they found solution to a lot of the aging players in the squad.
Yeah, and for me, the issue has been that that defensive unit that we saw from 2018 to even Euro 2020, World Cup 2022, which I think was the last of some of them.
Yeah.
You look at Vida, Vesalko, Lovren, and then the goalkeeper, Subasic. These 4 were an integral part of that team. Now, none of them are around. It's a promising, nice, on paper it looks nice. When you look at the likes of Stanisic and Vardiol and Livakovic, who had a really good World Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks good, but it's not as solid as what we saw a couple of years ago. But the game plan and the system seems to be the same. This team that wants to suck the life out of opposition, they are not as potent going forward, but they are very difficult to break down. This time around, you can score Croatia, and Croatia themselves struggle to score goals. You look up front, they don't have very prolific goal scorers. Kramaric, Pasalic, those guys up there are not the guys that you usually look for goals in. So it means that midfield still needs to provide the team with goals. And with the aging Modric and Brozovic and Kovacic, who are obviously not the players that they were a couple of seasons ago, this team is certainly on a decline. But the football they played in this competition deserve for them to be out, and I'm happy they're out.
All right, so that's what it is. So Italy will finish 2nd in the group. Spain will finish top because Spain won 1-0 against Albania. And listen, guys, those 2 matches just concluded. So we're still working on the highlights for you. So we'll move it on to other matches. Once the highlights are ready, we'll play them for you. And then, of course, we'll show you the table and all that. Ferran Torres was the scorer for Spain.
Yeah, he scored for Spain.
Really good goal.
Yeah,
Spain
really good goal.
deserved to be top of the group. We saw the game.
They
It was brilliant. And they changed the entire team today. And still had a very, very good team. From goalkeeper to Jose.
From the team that played against Italy, I mean. Yeah.
So Oyarzabal, Ferran Torres.
Only Laporte started.
Only Laporte started, really. And Laporte didn't play the first game, so they wanted him to get some minutes as well. So Laporte played, Grimaldo started, Jesus Navas started, Oyarzabal, Moreno started in the middle.
Dani Olmo.
Dani Olmo was a completely different team. In the end, they still played a very, very fine football. And at some point, the game was almost done. So they just had to conserve energy. They have a very formidable team. Now, almost every player in the team has minutes in the legs. And so you can have a feeling that the camp is going to be happy and the manager will have plenty to call on.
Okay. Let's go to Portugal's group. They're the 2016 champions. They played their 2nd group game on Saturday against Turkey. That game was full of history. They won it by 3-0. Let's take a look at the highlights and then we can look back on the action. All right, so that's that. Portugal won comfortably, helped by Turkey. Lots of history in that match. Let me just go through some of them. That is Portugal matched their highest ever win at the Euros, which is 3-0. Turkey suffered their joint highest ever defeat at the Euros, which is 3-0. Cristiano Ronaldo made an assist, which means that he's now the all-time top assist maker at the Euros with 8 in that competition. At 41 years and 113 days, Pepe became the oldest player at the Euros. It's like every match they play at the Euros, Pepe makes history, Ronaldo makes history. He also made 27, that was his 27th game, Cristiano Ronaldo, the most appearances at the Euros. So that's a record extending one. It wasn't making history, he was just extending history, Cristiano Ronaldo. And there's a lot to unpack on that game. But most notably, people are beginning to talk about the assist that Ronaldo gave to Bruno Fernandes and saying, is that a new Ronaldo of maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, would not have passed that ball? And I'm thinking, what is that conversation all about?
Well, Ronaldo has always had this, I personally call it false reputation of being a selfish player. And that's largely because what is hyped about Ronaldo is the goals that he scores. In the minds of people, it's not possible to score the number of goals Ronaldo scores without being selfish. Right?
True.
However, when you look through what he's done, he can't be selfish because in the history of the UEFA Champions League, he has more assists and goals than any player.
Yeah.
In the history of the Euros, he has more assists and goals than any other player. We are talking about a competition where Iniesta, Fabregas, David Silva, Pirlo, some of the greatest footballers have played. And in the Champions League, name them. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne plays there. Many players are playing in the Champions League. Lionel Messi has played in the Champions League for so many years. Yeah. But there's a huge perception about Messi that he creates or he assists more than Ronaldo, which in total he does.
It's true, yeah.
But he doesn't have to equal Messi's assist numbers to make him look like he's selfless.
He's a creator, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that people have only focused on the goals that he scores and how many chances. And you see, I don't like the assist conversation necessarily because I want to look at the number of chances a player is able to create because the only way it becomes an assist is if you have a good finish at the end of it. And like when Ronaldo was in Man United, he created tons of chances, but they didn't finish them, so they didn't count.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that the perception now, people are now being drawn to the fact that, listen, if he has the highest assist in the history of the competition, that can be a selfish player.
Yeah.
So now the narrative now is beginning to be corrected, and I think that is what its reputation also deserves.
Fair enough. Listen, Turkey is self-destructed in a lot of ways. They started very well, but that own goal that they conceded, poor communication, shouldn't have happened. But I want to focus on Portugal's strengths in that second match. The changes that even Roberto Martinez made, bringing Palhinha in, putting Ronaldo central, they were key to the way Portugal played, and they were key to Portugal's success overall. Don't you agree?
Yeah, that's what he should have done in the first game. Wonder why he was overthinking in that game against Czech Republic. But then again, he also showed the quality and the strength and depth in this Portuguese team. Going down the goal, being able to ring changes, changing around. This time around, he started with a strong foot. And most people remember, Palhinha had a yellow card in the first half. Second half, he brings on Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves sits on the bench for Portugal. Then late in the game, he brought on...
Actually, the second half, he made two changes.
Yes, João Neves came on.
He took off. It took off Leao
also had a yellow card.
And Palhinha, who were both yellow carded. And then brought in Neto and both were amazing.
Both were brilliant. Yeah. The game ended, you see them hugging and chatting, and you see players like Jota who didn't even get a run in, Chico Conceição who came off the bench to score, João Felix all on the bench. Look, this Portuguese team has quality, and it has quality all around. And that's the good thing about this Portuguese team. It's not reliant on one player. Yeah. There are so many players who can take responsibility, and that's why I'm happy. It's 2 wins out of 2, and Ronaldo hasn't even scored a goal. If you go back previous Euros, it's almost impossible for Portugal to win 2 wins out of 2 without Ronaldo scoring. So, look, for a team to get better, it means players need to start taking more responsibility, and I'm really happy that this Portuguese team is beginning to show that, and the head coach also responding very quickly to things that are happening on the pitch. But it's about doing this in the knockout rounds, because right now, as it stands, where Ronaldo has taken the expectations of this Portuguese team to, it's not a round of 16 or a quarter-final that people will be satisfied with. They have to go further, and they have the talent too. But a quick one. Yeah. There was something that was an experiment in the 60s, was it the 50s, called Operation Mockingbird. Right. It was a CIA experiment where, basically to prove what media propaganda can do in terms of
the
thinking of people. So what they did was to put 18 people in a room. 17 out of the 18 were CIA agents. Arranged them from 1 to 18. The last person, the number 18, was the only correct civilian. And then they put shapes on a screen. So they put a circle, and the first person says it's a rectangle. Second person says it's a rectangle. 1 to 17 says it's a rectangle. They reach 18. Guess what 18 said?
It's
a rectangle.
Yeah.
But he could clearly see a circle. End of the experiment, they concluded that when you repeat something so many times, even in the face of clear evidence, it begins to sound like the truth.
Yeah.
So even though Ronaldo has created the most assists in both club European club football and national team football, people still struggle to understand why he's not selfish. Because they've heard it over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah. But it's normal. At the end of the day, when we are gone in 20, 25 years' time, nobody will care about what they are saying on TV. The kids will just have to Google and the numbers will never lie.
And to be fair, when you have Ronaldo in that situation, Ronaldo can score from there.
Yeah.
And
there was a record on the line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it could, the easier thing to have done was to go for the goal. I mean, I had a conversation with Mubarak this morning on Euros today, where he was suggesting that Ronaldo might just be a little bit afraid that he was going to miss. I'm like, do you know who you're talking about?
And no, wait. First of all, which keeper?
You know,
look, the near side of the goalkeeper was so gaping, huh?
Oh, God. You know, Ronaldo could have scored if he wanted.
This keeper hasn't caught all season.
Yeah.
When Onana was underperforming and was going to the AFCON, I was afraid.
They begged
this keeper.
All right, guys. Let's show you the table from Group F. Just to put things into perspective for you. Portugal top with 6 points after 2 matches. And you have Turkey with 3 points. They got a great first win against Georgia in their opening game. Czech Republic and Georgia drew their second match, so they got 1 point apiece. Turkey's last game will be against Czech Republic, and Portugal's last game would be against Georgia. Presumably, Portugal will win against Georgia. So, Turkey just need to avoid defeat to guarantee a second-place finish in that group. And I don't know if they can get it. When I was doing research for the Turkey-Portugal commentary, I was shocked to discover that Turkey had only ever made it out of the group stages twice in the history of the Euros. I'm thinking, all these years and all these great players you've had in the past, what were you doing?
2008 was one of them, yeah?
Yeah.
I remember that knee hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
It's ridiculous. And frankly, most of them, they haven't even qualified.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't qualify for the competition. It's really that poor.
Maybe now Adagula would be, just like Ronaldo was for Portugal. When Ronaldo stepped in, they've been consistent at Euros. Maybe Adagula's generation can do that.
And then I began to dawn on me that I think with Turkey, what they've had is mostly flashes of a quality player or two in the team, but never really an all-round quality squad. You know, even give it to the 2002 World Cup squad that went to the semi-finals. They had like one or two quality players.
Who's two?
That was the time.
With the black kaji.
I still remember the semi-final, the Senegal. Is it the Senegal?
The quarterfinal? No, the last 16 against
Senegal.
The golden goal. The golden goal.
The golden goal.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Heartbreaking.
Yeah. Senegal stopped playing. I thought there was a whistle. They stopped playing, and once the ball came in, Hassan Sass.
Some way.
All right, cool. So great time. Listen, don't let us go back
Tony
to
Silva.
nostalgia. Don't do that, guys. Don't do that. Don't do that,
bro.
Don't do that. I mean, I saw your argument today. You were going on and on about how much football has become boring because we no longer have dribblers. We
don't track the ball enough from range. Nobody.
We don't have range shooters anymore.
Unnecessary risks.
I get it. The game wants to be perfect, but the point is that what made football so exciting was the imperfection, right?
Do you think football now?
Let me just
do you think football is boring now compared to what we had maybe 10 years ago?
I think so. I think efficiency is boring. Not to be 100% efficient. In fact, look at the nets.
Is it not a case of nostalgia though? Because maybe then I have the same people that said maybe in the 2010s that football had lost it and that football in the 70s was great. Then you go back and you watch football in the 70s, you see Maradona dribbling past, nobody's tackling him, and it's like, and you're thinking, that can't happen in today's game.
It happens. Messi did the same and nobody's complaining. We saw it with Kudus doing the same, nobody's complaining. What makes you think Maradona doing it then means we're not tackling? But I'm saying that I don't think it's nostalgia. I think it's just that for anything to be perfect, a lot of fun has to go out of it. And that is why even in school, for most brilliant students who are getting all the high grades, 99, 100, 99,
They're very boring.
their lifestyles
very
are different.
mechanical.
Now, if you want football to be perfect, expect all the fun, all the risk, everything that was by accident, anything that was by your natural share ability, expect most of that to be sucked out of the game, right? So the things Ronaldinho will do, you see a lot of it now. You see somebody rather passing the ball.
How do we not see Vinicius do a lot
Look,
of
let me just give you let me just give you a
That's
very
my
interesting example.
yeah.
Let me give you an interesting example. When you look at Messi, okay, from 06 to 08, you look at his average dribbles per game, basically the same as Messi from 09 to 2011.
maybe 12.
It's a 2 year. So 09 to 2012.
Okay.
09 to 2012 was Pep. 06 to 08 was Rijkaard. Now the difference is Pep was letting him dribble all right, but he was letting him dribble in areas of the pitch that will actually affect the game. So Messi was still giving the same volume of dribbles, but this time the dribbles made sense because they were producing goals and assists.
So it wasn't for entertainment purpose.
Ronaldo, early between 2006-2010, if you look at the shots and where Ronaldo was taking shots from, look, if you look at Ronaldo's shot mark over that period, you can't even see the lines. Center and things, he's shooting. What did the evolvement of football do? It created an environment where Ronaldo will now be taking shots from areas that made sense, where his chances of scoring was higher. So then the goals also increased. Efficiency is nice because I prefer that latter part Ronaldo, that more efficient Real Madrid Ronaldo, where once he touched the ball, you knew you were going to get up from your seat.
I think the argument is right, but does it defeat what Sicho is saying? That maybe that older Ronaldo, the newer Ronaldo may be more efficient. It will give you a lot of wins, give you a lot of goals.
But for me, it's entertainment.
Yes,
absolutely. Nothing makes me jump.
It's very subjective.
Nothing makes me jump more than goal. I don't care about.
But ultimately, for me, and many people have said that Pep has destroyed football, but I don't agree because even with Pep, he had Lionel Messi, he had Iniesta, he had Pedro, they were dribblers.
Okay.
When he went to Bayern, there was Ribery, there was Robin, they were dribblers. Yes. Even in the middle of the park, he's got people who were dribbling. When he came to Man City, even Man City, we had Maris the dribbler. Leroy Sané was dribbling, and he's gone on to buy Jeremy Doku. So when people say it's Pep Guardiola, it's not true. He's always had players who on their own can take some players out of the equation by their own ability. It's just that there are new coaches who, in my opinion, are just copying everything Pep without every detail, and they are being a bit lazy. And even worse now, it's at the academy level, where players are being coached out of what they would have. And Messi said it in the interview, that what he was allowed to do when he was 10 years old, kids are not being allowed to do it. And he couldn't have been Messi without being allowed to do those. And that is why, for me, the fun in football is slightly dwindling.
Interesting. All right.
Some way.
Interesting conversation. Yeah, we'll keep it going. But let's look at Belgium versus Romania. Belgium got a 2-0 win. Let's take a look at the highlights. So there's that 2-0 win for them. Tillemans after 70-something seconds, and then De Bruyne. Let's look at the group standings for that group, and then tell you what this means for Belgium. They've got 3 points. Now, this is the most interesting group. Every single team in the group has 3 points. This is the first time in the history of the Euros where after 2 matches, every single team in the group has 3 points. Now, this means every single member of this group can qualify to the round of 16. Every single member of this group can be sent home. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So the last game would be Belgium against Ukraine.
Slovakia, Romania.
2
very cracking games to come. I thought Belgium had to win. They needed to win after the setback they had in the opening game. And Tedesco ranked changes into the side. I thought they were important changes as well. He brought in players who were more natural in some positions and were more progressive. Then Kevin De Bruyne, for me, had a great game. And it's one of the reasons why they won. I thought in the first game, there was too much confusion in rules, in my opinion, right? But this game, the rules were incredibly clearly defined. And Kevin De Bruyne had so much room behind Lukaku to play around him and bounce off him, and Lukaku bouncing off, and it was great. And Jeremy Doku also, his game was a lot better than what we saw in the first game. So yeah, it's a victory they will take. It's good for momentum going into the last game against Ukraine. But they're coming up against the Ukrainian side, who also got their win. And they are riding on a lot of emotions. And that thing is dangerous because it can make the team better or it can make them capitulate. You don't know which Ukrainian side you're going to face on the day. We saw what happened to Denmark in the last Euros. They went all the way to the semis. And after what happened to Ericsson, they were just riding on something.
And they were hosts too, so we're co-hosts.
Yeah, they're co-hosts, you know. So you wonder if Ukraine have got what it takes in them to do it. Because when you see Ukraine play in their first game, in their second game, they played some very fine football. And I thought that the first game, the scoreline was a bit harsh on them. They played better than the scoreline suggested. If they can carry on playing well, then the game against Belgium is going to be really, really tough. It's not a simple victory for Belgium, even though they'll be favourites.
Okay, I'm gonna take you to action in Group A. The third group matches were played in that group, and that was just yesterday. Switzerland versus Germany. Let's take a look at the highlights. Great equalizer from Full Croc. Wonderful equalizer from Full Croc. But that means Germany are now top of the group. They've finished the group stages. Germany top with 7 points. 2 wins and 1 draw. That's it. And then Switzerland are also through with 5. Hungary with 3. There's a chance that they could still make it through. Scotland, though, have no chance whatsoever. They are sent home. Let me show you which teams have already booked their places in the round of 16, and just so that we can confirm. So there you go. Germany, the host nation, are through. Spain are through. Portugal, Switzerland, Italy have also just qualified. England are through as well. The Netherlands are through. So are France. So that's 8 teams that have made it already. So 8 more teams will join them from tomorrow to Wednesday. The rest of the matches will be played tomorrow, and Wednesday we'll show you which games. We'll look at which games are coming up in those remaining last group stage games. All right. What we will do now is take a very short break. When we come back, we will shift our attention. We'll have Karim here to highlight a few things from the Euros, and then we'll shift our attention to the matches that are coming up on Tuesday and on Wednesday, with particular focus on all the issues around the England team. We'll be right back. Colors to match the color of your house, everything, you know, not a boring universal black color tank. No. Syntax give you variety. Johnny Walker says, keep walking, never stay at one place. Keep walking and keep enjoying Johnny Walker. Kivo Gary 4-in-1 mix, also proud sponsors. Ama Gary Sokins are yet there. They've mixed it. There's Gary there, there's granite, there's sugar, there's milk in there. Okay, all you need to do is rip it open, pour it into water, and enjoy. And you can find it in any supermarket. Just ask for Kivo Gary. It's 4-in-1 mix, okay? But let me also tell you about this one, all right? Very important. This week, we are very proud to announce, okay, very excited, Danladi K as last week's lucky winner, big winner. I keep telling you, winner big, okay? He won a cool 1,000 Ghana D. So congratulations to you, Danladi. And go and treat yourself with that money. Enjoy it. Keep your eye on winner big for more chances to win big this week. Participation is easy, like I tell you all the time. Just dial *920*6# *920*6# and follow the prompts to purchase your desired tickets. Or you can download the Winner Big app on both iOS and Android devices, and then you can play. You can also visit our website, Winnerbig, WINABIG, winnerbig.com to purchase your tickets. Some luck awaits you. Remember, though, this is my favorite part. A daily ticket of 5 CDs qualifies you for the daily draw to win 500 Ghana cedis. So you can win 500 Ghana cedis every day with just 5 CDs. And on top of that, that ticket will then enter you to be eligible to win on the weekly draw, which is done on Fridays, and that is 1,000 Ghana cedis as well. So one ticket, you get 2 chances to win. So purchase more tickets to boost your chances in both the daily and the weekly draw. The more tickets, the better your chances of cashing out big time. Winner base, cash the flow, sir. Winner big, 1 ticket, 2 chances. Guys, let's look at the rest of the fixtures for this week. Tomorrow is crazy because tomorrow there are as many. There are 4 matches tomorrow. And then there are 4 matches on Wednesday as well. And the group stages will be concluded. Let me just go through those fixtures. Tomorrow, round 3, the Netherlands take on Austria. France then face Poland. England take on Slovenia. And then Denmark take on Serbia. Those are the 4 matches on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, you'll have Slovakia against Romania, Ukraine versus Belgium. Then you have Czech Republic against Turkey and Georgia against Portugal. We've already spoken about, I think, the last 4 teams. Let's talk about those first 4 matches. The Netherlands against Austria. The Netherlands, they've been, I don't know, crying a lot.
No, I think they've been good. Even though they played better than the opponent in the first game, they managed to win it late. And in a game where many thought that they were going to be just wiped off the floor by France. Even though France created a better chances, I thought they also gave France a lot of competition. And that was a real test for how far this Coman team had come or how good that team could be. So they will look back on that game against France because they were overwhelming underdogs going into that game. But France didn't. Beat them like many thought. Many thought it would have been like the Italy, Spain, but that wasn't the fixture. They gave France lots of problems, and that is a game that can really change their perspective about themselves going into the rest of the games.
Daniel, take a look at that group for me. Both the Netherlands and France are through, obviously. Now we know that for sure because either team can finish first, second, even third, they will still make it through with 4 points. But yeah. France have another chance to show people that they are indeed one of the pre-tournament favorites, if not the pre-tournament favorite, in that last game against Poland.
Yeah, and hopefully we see Kylian Mbappe return. I've missed the young man. Want to see him in his mask. The first game, France were still, you can tell, they were still getting into things. I think they were much better against the Netherlands. It was just the cutting edge in front of goal that was lacking, and some decisions from Deschamps also, I think. But this game against Poland have not been good in the competition. They've been very disappointing. They have an aging team, an attack
0 points. That's just awful.
An attack that doesn't seem to know how to score goals. And surprising they have Lewandowski, but obviously it's very few teams or very few players who can carry teams on their back. So,
I'm going to say this though, that I don't know about you guys. But my absolute favorite team in this competition so far has to be Austria.
Because of Ragnick. Look, Ragnick has done a super job.
He's had them playing national team football, like club football.
Yeah. No, and they are really interesting to watch. But again, I think the 3 teams, the first, second, third, will qualify.
Yeah.
And these teams in the knockout round will obviously get a lot of teams a run for their money. But I think France still need that statement win. I don't think they've struck enough fear in people. We know what they can do, but in this competition, they've not shown us how good they are, and they still need that statement win. That's why I need Mbappe back for that game against Poland. And if he's back, he did it to them at the World Cup, he'll do it to them again.
Talking about teams that need statement wins.
Swag.
Nobody. Aura player. Sicho, talking about teams that need statement win, there's no one desperately in need of that more than you know who.
England.
Against Slovenia.
Statement performance, statement win.
Southgate stuck with his lineup from the first game.
Yeah.
Maybe one more chance, hoping to see what happens. Is this the match where, he finally gives saying, what, and goes with what everybody else is saying?
He's in a difficult place, Southgate, because his team has already qualified.
Yeah.
So you wonder if he's going to give a lot of game time to some of the players it's not seen like Spain did. But maybe not, because whatever his first team is, there's no chemistry. So this is another game for him to try and find a routine or a rhythm for them.
Yeah.
Unlike Spain, they did in the first game, the second game, the rhythm is there. So you can rest everybody, bring others in, have a look at them in the competition. Southgate doesn't have that luxury. And the rumors are that Alexander Arnold may make way for Gallagher to come into the midfield. But that's
Is that a solution?
I don't think so. I think what England are lacking now is the control that allows their very talented attackers to build on, right? Now, as talented as Foden, Bellingham, Harry Kane, Saka are, if the base of their game don't have any control whatsoever and can't keep possession for a reasonably long spells, they can't function, right? They can't function. So you need a base. Somebody like Watson, somebody like maybe Maine, even though he's young. Unfortunately for Southgate, he might not have the team that can do that for him. And this team is very different from the team that played at the World Cup or played or in the other Euro that they got them to the final. This team is different. The back line is even different because you don't have Maguire, John Stones doesn't look fit. You've got Gueye coming, you've got Luke Shaw is not playing, you've got Trippier playing there.
It's probably been their best player.
He's been brilliant for them. You don't have Henderson, Rice. You don't have Henderson and then Calvin Phillips and Rice. You don't have that midfield. So it's different. So he needs to bring in a midfielder, in my opinion, is Watson. He has to be trusted.
Adam Watson.
Otherwise, why do you bring him to the tournament? So what happens to the team if Rice is injured, if Rice is suspended? If you're not going to trust him to play, then why is it a tournament? I think he's the man to bring alongside Rice and allow Rice to do what he was doing so well at Arsenal when Arteta brought in Jorginho and at times Partey when he was fit. Because as a number 6, he's not presenting them the base where they can control games.
Yeah.
And under Glasgow, we saw Watson do exactly what England needs for the others to build on. But the problem again will still persist because Phil Foden, in this English team, without the combinations that he has at City, can't be your left-sided winger.
Right.
He's not cut for it. The more natural player for the way England are playing now will be Anthony Gordon, not even Eberechi Eze. So Gordon, in my opinion, has to play. He has to decide between Foden and Saka, who plays on the right, because Foden can thrive there. And I like Bellingham in the number 10 role, even though he's not the typical number 10 as people call, because he again we need his physicality around Rice and Watson or Menu, because he can do the box to box, and I don't trust Foden to do a lot of that. So Southgate has to be bold. He has to be bold and make the big calls, and he has to refresh the team. Will he do it tomorrow? I don't know.
The big calls from everything you've analyzed would be dropping the big players. So Trent off, and maybe Foden off, if this system is to work.
Or maybe Saka off.
Or maybe Saka off.
I mean, Foden had a better game in the last game than Saka, so Saka hasn't played well in the first 2 games. So why can't you drop Saka, shift Foden there?
Fair enough.
Bring in Anthony Gordon.
You have been preaching a lot about getting the best out of their captain, Harry Kane. He's come out swinging at ex-players for their criticism of the current team. And I love the brilliant answer he gave when he was asked about, Lineker and co calling their performance, the S word and all that. He says, listen, we haven't won something for a long time, and we weren't the ones who have been playing the national team all that time. Some of you were also there, you didn't win anything. But after having said that, the eyeballs will be much wider.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Look, sometimes we need to put ourselves in the player's shoes, especially when the criticism is coming from fans. Look, fans have every right to criticize. It's the English fans who have suffered not winning the Euros ever. But some of these ex-players have had the opportunity to go and win it, and they've not done it. This group have actually gone closer to a trophy than any of the previous teams. So if anybody deserves respect, it's actually this group, not the previous guys. They have name, but they don't have anything to show for it.
Right.
So let's stick to the Harry Kane point.
But what will you have them do? They are pundits. They are being paid to do what we do here. I mean, it doesn't matter who plays.
But that's why he didn't say they shouldn't.
It with respect.
He didn't say they shouldn't criticize. He says when they speak about performances being the S word, right? He says that they have to He said they have to recognize and know how difficult it is.
Okay, hang on. My question is, even though they know how difficult it is, as pundits, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to be there to now explain
offer
to fans?
Solutions, like offer ways that
they do that. They do that all the time as pundits. But
they say they can do that without telling them that they were.
No, they call the performance what it is.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that over 90% of the fans, when they listen to radio shows in the UK, wherever, when they call into those shows, they side with these pundits. Listen, they are pundits, but they have got a job to do. If they meet them in the lobby one-on-one, they have different things to say. But when they have to speak to the public, sometimes when we speak on the Lamptey issue, people thought we were being harsh. We were not. We were doing our job. When they are pundits, they do their jobs. And their jobs is to call what it is. And what they called the English and Southgate performance for what it was for me spot on.
All right, fair enough. Then wrap it up on, I mean...
For me, it wasn't. And I love the answer that Harry Kane gave to them. And again, I'll say it. This group has been closer to winning something for England than the previous group. So, if anything...
That's a fact.
Yeah, if anything, they should sit and watch and be quiet. Because when they had their time, they didn't do anything. But sticking on Harry Kane, look, consistently over this period, he has shown that he is the best player in this group. At the World Cup, at the Euros, at the last World Cup, Harry Kane is England's best player. You don't all of a sudden start changing your game plan to suit a certain player because of one season form. You stick to the system that has worked over the years and you try and fine-tune it. What I've learned from these two games is Harry Kane is struggling for service.
Yeah.
They are trying to play around. His concentration is trying to get the best out of Bellingham and Foden. Bellingham and Foden have traditionally not necessarily been top performers for England. Harry Kane is that consistent player. And Bellingham, the question is, do Bellingham and Foden have the ability to help get the best out of Harry Kane? Yes, they do. They are creative players. In the right system, they will create those opportunities for Harry Kane. So I think that should be where the focus is. Okay. And in getting the best out of those two, in Bellingham and Foden, the people behind them in Rice and Trent or whoever it is, that stability needs to be there. And that's where I agree with Sichu. Said it before the competition. I think for me, the first person on the team sheet in that midfield for me would have been Adam Watson, based on what he did in the season. He solves that problem that they are missing, that Calvin Phillips problem, that Henderson problem. He has that defensive solidity and he can see a pass and give them control. Yeah. Control to allow those attacking players to...
In the last game, Rice looked lost.
He looked lost because Trent is lost. Everybody's confused. So Watson must play and then get the creative guys in front of them, the Sackers, for whoever will play there, get service to Harry Kane. Because look, half a chance he's scoring.
I don't know if Harry Kane is very fit though. I mean, getting to the end of the season, he missed a couple of games because of a back injury. He didn't play the first game in the warm-up game. He came in the second half of the... I think he's not looking so sharp. Okay. And he also hasn't helped himself. He's trying so hard to be involved in the game.
Yeah, because he's not getting service.
No,
he's not the kind of striker who is sitting there.
No, he has to be. He has to be.
No, the ball is not coming.
I've seen him being criticized for dropping too
deep. No,
because he's not getting the ball.
I agree he has to drop. But if he drops too deep, he invites... Harry Kane is so deadly that if he stays a little high, it keeps the team, the opponents, deeper. And England have got space to go. But when he drops so deep, it pushes them. And when you watch England play, teams are playing their own half because Harry Kane is dropped into his own half. If he steps up, them are not coming that high up the pitch.
So my point is, when Kane drops deep, he usually has runners off him. The guys around him are not doing the job. Okay. When Harry Kane drops deep, you expect the Sackers, Foden and Co and Bellingham to fill that space. That's what he's been doing.
They're not doing enough. All right.
If he's sitting there, boy, it's not coming.
I promised you guys that I will show you the highlights of the Italy match. I think we have it now. Do we? Italy versus Croatia.
Are you a proper host?
I'm a proper host. I don't forget. So, Benai, if those highlights are ready, let's show the audience what we promised them. You saw the Spain one as well there. So this is a confirmation of what their table looks like. Okay, we showed it. There it is. There it is. Spain, 9 points maximum. Yeah, they've not even considered a goal. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Not considered a goal. Goal difference 5. Not considered a goal. Unbelievable stuff. All right, listen. Let me. I want to show you some small athletics highlights over at the African Athletics Championships in Douala. Ghana has won 2 gold medals. One came from the high jumper, Rose Yeboah. She successfully defended the title that she won from Mauritius 2 years ago, winning another gold medal. She won gold in the women's high jump at the African Games as well. But also in the 4x100 meter relay, Team Ghana were in the final with Nigeria. In fact, they were in the same heats with Nigeria. They beat them. Then in the final, they beat Nigeria again to win gold. Can you roll the highlights for me? There it is. Big stadium in Douala. I think that's Team Ghana out there in... this is an amateur video. This is not on television. So credit Joy Sports for getting you this video. We sport there. We sport there. Okay? So you see Team Ghana out there. That is Husseini Ibrahim out on lane 7, running really wide. Team Ghana. To win from that lane is incredible. So he hands over to Isaac Bozio. That's him. Widen your shot with the Rasta. He did really well, closing on those on the outside lane. Then he hands over to Edwin Gadai, who is a CAA Region 2 champion. And that was an absolute flying third leg. And once he handed over to Abdul Rashid Saminu, there was no catching him. Him against Ushorishi. Ushorishi was closing in, but there was just too much gap between them. And he went across and got the title. And then the guys did a Sioux just before that. This is the high jump where Rose won gold. I think that's the Ethiopian. Once she failed to clear, Rose Yeboah came in, and then she got that through, and then got another wonderful gold medal. She's now won gold medals. I think that's a South African. Yeah, there she is. So she's now won 4 consecutive gold medals at Continental Championship. In Rabat 2019, she won gold in the Africa Games. Then she went to Mauritius in 2022. That's her on the shot. In the African Championships, won gold. Then came to Accra 2023 for African Games, won gold. And then she's gone to Douala in the African Championships to win gold again. She is unbelievable. And she's also booked her place at the Olympic Games, 1.97. Like, she is a star, this girl. She's an absolute star. So, look at, come on, man. Come on, man. God, I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words.
I'm looking at the stadium. It's nice.
I'm lost for words.
Did you see the game in, you didn't mention this, the game in Tamale. The grass in my house. The grass in my house is better than nothing.
Charlie?
Look, I was afraid for the players.
You were afraid? Okay, let me read a couple of messages. Yunus from WA says, you guys are doing great. Keep it up. I'm really enjoying the program. Portugal wins the first 2 games in Europe in history. It's the first time in history. Interesting. Great fan. Great show. But my take on the English team is that I think Cole Palmer should be giving a chance at the 10 role. Play Adam Wating and Bellingham at 6 and 8 instead of Gordon White. Meaning drop Rice and Foden and let Adam Wating protect the back 4. Drop Bellingham to 8. Adam Wating goes wide. Anthony Gordon goes wide and Cole Palmer takes the 10 role. Lukman from Tamale. Tamale Pep Guardiola, thank you. We've duly noted your message. This one said, the funny thing is that House of Folk will recruit 50% or even more of Kotoko rejects, and Kotoko will also rush for House rejects. Immediately they put them on the transfer. Atani Atara running football comedy in Ghana. I pity the fans of those teams. All right. Thank you for your messages. Yes, Sicho. You and Daniel, you are harassing me.
No,
what is it?
no.
What is it?
Yes.
What is it?
Let me say a very good evening to my sweet aunt, all the way in Peja. Do you know where Peja is?
Yes.
Yes.
Volta region.
Yes, Peja Blime.
Yes.
Auntie Irene.
Your aunt. What's her name?
Auntie Irene.
Aunt Irene.
Irene Achim.
Auntie Irene.
She sees the show every Monday.
Oh, Auntie Irene, you sport it.
So big shout outs to her.
Auntie Irene, you sport it.
Yeah. And this one is a birthday message to Hartwell Ansa Aprakua.
Okay.
She and the husband.
Yes.
Every Monday.
Yeah, they don't miss.
I'm telling you.
Champion.
So happy birthday to her.
Yeah.
Hartwell Ansa Aprakua.
Thank you, Sicho. Thank you, Dada.
Me too, I'm saying happy birthday to Hartwell.
Yeah, Hartwell.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Hartwell.
All right, cool. Guys, we'll leave you with highlights of Canada and Argentina at the Copa America. Thank you for your time. Oh, please, my friend, keep quiet over there. Thank you for your time. We're back again next Monday with another episode of Sports Zone. Until then, take care and bye-bye.